Mike Bohn here with Jared Gordon, just a few days removed from UFC 282 and a very controversial decision with Paddy Pimblett. Jared, I know you wanted to take a few days to kind of digest everything in the aftermath of this. I guess, what conclusions have you come to over the past few days?
I believe I won still. And most of the world seems to believe I won. I can understand if it was like everyone was like, you lost. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm just being biased for myself. But I mean, when you look at what everyone's saying, I think they agree with me. And I mean, there's nothing I can do though. This could be better than me winning in a sense. Huge controversy and getting more attention than I ever got before with this one. Granted, it was a co-main and fighting against Paddy. I do regret some of the things that I did in the fight, but that could be every fight I have. I regret certain things. So, I got to take it in stride and just move forward and try to turn it into something better for myself.
For sure. So you watched the fight back, right?
Yeah, I watched it twice. I could say that I won all 3 rounds. I believe I definitely won I thought I won the first 2 for sure. And the last round was the round that I regretted the most. But I thought I was in the fight and watching it back, I thought I won. Yeah, it wasn't exciting and I didn't really land much strikes, but I was up and down, changing levels, looking for takedowns. I did have his back at one point, I think, standing. He went for a takedown. I reversed it. I did slip off the top, and then he had control for 30 seconds. So I didn't land many significant shots or any at all, I guess, but I did control the whole third round, basically. So I give that one to me also. Even if I lost one round, I still win the fight. So, and you got this Doug Crosby guy. Yeah, the other judges gave Paddy. I mean, they gave him the first round. How? How did anyone give him the first round? And then it's funny, Dana said I threw the third round, which I am in partial agreement with him. And then Paddy says, oh, I coasted the third round because I was winning the first 2. So nothing adds up. And, I was in the B corner, I guess you could say. So, the crowd could have swayed the judges. John McCarthy criticized his own son. Oh, you threw that one away. You had that one wrong. And I think his son agreed, maybe. Yeah, the crowd got me. As a judge going in, you got to know that, right?
I know, dude. It's crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to say besides the fact that everyone's looking at it, major nonstop tweeting about the judges. The judges now, this guy Crosby is being investigated. Obviously, only by Mohegan's son. Vegas, I don't think is doing anything about it, which doesn't matter anyways because the other 2 judges had it going for Paddy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my life has always been nothing will ever be handed to you, no matter what. No matter how well you do, how hard you try, you are going to have to trudge through the mud to get to the other side. And that's just the way it's going to be for me, man, no matter what I do. And that's all right because I've learned to cope with it and deal with it. And when I do get to the other side of certain things, it always is worth it. And down the line, I believe we'll see the silver lining. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm waiting for it very eagerly. every second of the day that passes, I'm like, where's the silver lining? But I spoke to Dana after, and he was like, look, bro, this was the best case scenario for you coming off of a loss, and they support me and they got my back. I thank the UFC for everything. I love fighting for them. I mean, what I experienced last week was amazing. Co-main event, all the the media. I embraced it all. None of it got to me. It didn't affect me, and I was so happy to be in that cage with everyone screaming at me. It was, freaking amazing, dude. And I believe I thrive in those moments, and I love it, man. And I just gotta take it for what it is. And that was the second fight on my contract. So my next is my third. Obviously, that's a big fight on your contract, and it's all going to be worth it for me.
Yeah, man. So just so much to unpack there. I mean, I was cage side there. I thought it was pretty clear. Like, I thought you had all 3 rounds in the moment. The first round to me was the clearest for you. I don't know how 2 judges give him that
That's what
round.
I'm saying. Like, I can understand they give him the other 2, but how did you give him the first one?
It's perplexing. I mean, round 2, I guess maybe the closest, and round 3, I mean, it's pretty close too, but like there's not a ton to score off. It was like 6 significant strikes to 4, and then you're controlling him against the fence. So like to me,
I'm the one that was on the offense. I was holding him there. I was kneeing him. I was looking for the takedown. I kind of had his back. Then I reversed the takedown. So it's like,
yeah, it's weird because they say, like with this new scoring criteria, right? Like the positions don't mean as much if you don't do anything with it, so to speak. But no one was really doing too much in that moment. And like, how do you differentiate, 4 significant strikes to 6? Like, it's not a whole lot to go off. So you defer down the scoring criteria. And I think control is kind of one of the next things you get to there at some point. So to me, I mean, I know some people out there called it like one of the worst robberies in UFC history, a lot of that stuff. Paddy brushed that off, but yeah, it was a really bad decision in my book. And I mean, it seems like, one of the biggest things that hurts you here too, on top of all the credibility, is, you're talking about the contract there. You don't get your win money, right?
Yeah. Luckily for me, money is not an issue. I'm not like, I wanted it, but I don't need it. I have income from other sources, and I have money saved. I own a home. I own cars. I own all the things that people need, and the most important thing is that I got my wife, I got my friends and family that are here for me. I'm healthy. My ankle's a little banged up, but I'm going to the gym later on today. And, I'm not the youngest guy in the game, but I believe I still have a good, solid, I'm the best I've ever been. I'm the healthiest I've ever been. And I'm, mentally and emotionally and spiritually the strongest I've ever been. So I can only see that it goes up for me here. And, you see these guys are older now fighting. And I believe there's a lot more left for me in this game. And, it was a learning experience. I had to take some things into, think of, technically fighting wise. And, I learned so much about myself in this last couple of months that I only believe that I'll just get better and have better performances and more success. And this is MMA, man. Things happen instantly. I mean, look, and then you look at the main event. So like, it's very, like you said, it's perplexing. It's so bizarre, so bizarre. And I'm actually, it's kind of cool to be involved in something like this because people will always remember it. People will always say, "Oh, Jared was that guy that got screwed, but he won." And like Dana, I think I just mentioned this, said that they support me, and that it's they got my back, and that feels great, and just Jared Gordon life. Everyone says, "Man, it just wouldn't be right if it wasn't something like this didn't happen to you," and it's like, of course, like the most like unbelievable shit, but that's cool, man. Taking a stride, it just makes my book even better,
Yeah.
Like the movie that comes out will be even better. So
for sure. And not trying to have you like, trash Dana here or anything, but he did come and he put a lot of heat on you for that 3rd round, saying
I agree.
But 2 of the judges scored that round for you.
Yeah.
So like, that's the strange thing too,
right? If I went out there and put a more of a mark on it, then maybe it would be different, and I do agree with him because, like I was winning on this in the stand-up. I hurt my ankle though, and it was hard to move on it.
Yeah. Do you think if
I was concerned with being in the center, it was my back foot, my power foot that I'm pushing off of to strike and kick, and So I was like, let me just get him to the and take him down. I couldn't really get the takedown, unfortunately. I don't know why. I had my hands connected a couple times, and I just like he did a good job. I'll give him hats off. He defended the takedowns, but no, like also for Dana, he watched the fight one time and then he's being pressed, in the media. So like, what does he go off of it? He didn't. He's watching it from memory. It's not like he watched it 4 times. So like, it's not. I don't blame anyone. I can only blame myself for not pushing the action in that 3rd round, and the fucking judges. Excuse my language, for being fucking blind.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, even if you did put a stamp on that 3rd round and got a 10-8, you would have got a draw.
They already gave me that round, anyways. I already won that round. So what else do I have to do? Yeah, it doesn't. So it's like it's just the only word for it is bizarre.
Yeah. Do you think if there was open scoring, which has been a thing, and you knew going into that, like how different would it have been if you could see in the arena, if everyone could see Jared's down going into this 3rd round, how differently would that have changed your approach?
I asked my corner, I was like, what do I got to do? They're like, you got to win this round.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm going to go win this round. And then I didn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, man.
It's crazy. And I mean, you could go so deep into the weeds with this. Everyone has their opinion, but like, do you think, this is an example of why, judging needs to be overhauled, MMA scoring, or do you think, the system we have right now is decent enough? It's just you kind of.
I believe that the system is good, could be better, but I believe that the judges need to be looked at way more. Who's judging these fights, and how long have they been around? What sports did they judge before? And are they fighters? Man, they should have fighters, retired fighters judging these fights. Unbiased people. They should be wearing sound canceling headphones. Like
maybe not even cage side.
Not hearing the crowd. And I think that would make a big difference, because these judges, man, I mean, look at this guy Crosby. Like, he's being investigated now. He's been tied to so many other, and then there's a million other judges that people hate, always crucified. So, yeah, I think that's a big problem, and I think that it could be fixed. So.
Yeah. I mean, even if we just had a slight degree of more of accountability, like I cover the NBA as well, living in Toronto, the Raptors, and like after an NBA game, they send a pool reporter into the locker room, and like that reporter, who kind of represents the media as a whole, gets to ask the referees of that game, 3 to 5 questions about maybe a specific call or something that happened there. These people have zero accountability. We don't get to talk to them ever. There might be a rare person out there, a Ben Cartilage, someone like that, who will give an interview every here and there, but Douglas Crosby ain't doing things on the weekly. None of these other guys are. So we don't know what their philosophy are, what they're thinking. And it just makes it so difficult. They get to go on their merry way to the next fight. I mean, I'm sure you've been, told about it, that he was judging a fight in Bellator on the other side of the country the night before and turned in a ridiculous scorecard for Danny Sabatello. And then
how could they have given that kid all those rounds?
It makes no sense.
It's literally impossible. The only thing that makes sense is that he is an idiot. That's all I could like come up with.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess, at this point, what's done is done. And I know you put out the tweet saying, let's do the rematch in March in London. Do you think this is something the UFC would be interested in? Is your team pushing for it? Any idea if this could possibly?
I doubt they're going to do a rematch. I had to say it because it's what I want. Mm-hmm. And hey, maybe they would. And, maybe like there's a small chance that someone was like, it's not a bad idea. Let's see where he's really at. And he already fought me, so he's got an idea of what he's up against. And, but me going to London, and now, like, if I thought the cards were stacked against me in Vegas, but that doesn't mean shit to me, because, like, I know what I would have to do in London. Would be a complete dominant, like absolute, like I crush you domination. There's no way you can give it to the other guy, or I finish you. So I mean, that's fine. I'm ready to put myself on the line like that because I got nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose Saturday either, I believe. I thought all the pressure was on him, really. And now look where we're at. So it is what it is. And it'll only make me a better, more importantly, this is only going to make me a better person over a fighter. Yeah, it'll make me a better fighter too, but I don't really like. The thing is that if I did win, if I did get the W, I'll be sitting here like, what's next? Now what do I do? When am I going to fight next? Who am I going to fight? Blah, 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 blah. So it's like, I've said it before, like MMA doesn't give me complete fulfillment in life, which it doesn't, man. It doesn't. And I still love it. I still love martial arts. I still love fighting for the UFC. I love competing. I love fighting. But, when this is all over, I'm not going to be going around telling people that I'm a MMA, I fight for a living. When I'm 55, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm a business owner, or I'm a husband and a son and a brother. That's what I am. So, like, if I and the other thing is what would be the narrative if I won? Oh, you beat Paddy, he sucks. They would flip the narrative somehow. Oh, that was a boring fight. You laid on him in that last round. The people would be crucifying me right now.
Yeah.
And then what would I? It's like, so I gotta just know who I am as a man. Nothing will ever define me that's outside of me or materialistic or wins or losses or belts or medals, or anything like that. So, I have to just keep that up front with myself, and as long as I do that, I'll be successful because I know what I'm fighting for.
So, like, you mentioned obviously the rematch would be perfect world, but is it like hard to get up for, anything moving forward? Like knowing, like, is this deflating? Does this take away?
Dude, I've been sleeping till like 11 a.m., 12. Yeah. I've slept till noon today. I did go to sleep late, but my wife was like, get out of bed. And I was like, leave me alone. So, yeah. Then I'm like, all right, what am I doing? I got to get up, But it's been 3 days. It's been 4 days now? 3 days. It's on the 4th day. So, I mean, I got shit to do, man. I can't just sit around. So, yeah, but I'll be fine. I've had way worse losses, man. When I fought Oliveira, I had to have surgery on my face. I had a plate put in my face after that fight. I got knocked out in the first round. People were DMing me, you suck. You got knocked. It's like, it was way worse. So, I mean, this is just this life of a fighter, man. This is what it's all about. People think people are like, oh, you're famous. You're never going to. I'm like, famous? I'm not famous. Famous is like, you have like a following like Ronaldo. You have 500 million. That's famous. 500 million people are following you. I'm just some guy that fights in a cage, dude. And that's fine with me. That's fine for me. I love my life. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, does it bother you at all, at least that like Paddy won't even acknowledge that it was like close? He's saying like, I won all the rounds. Like it would be, I feel like people would have taken this a lot better if he came to the press conferences like, hey, it was a close fight, went my way. I don't, the judges make their call. I don't score the fights. Jared put up a great fight. He was a tough opponent, and then so be it.
Yeah, O'Malley. After the O'Malley fight, he was like, dude, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch that back. He was very forthcoming about how he felt. But Paddy's got to keep the circus going. And I understand that. That's fine, dude. I really like him. Mm-hmm. It was so funny all week with him. I didn't even want to fight him. After a certain point, I was like, I don't want to fight this guy. I want to be his friend. Right. Man, that's how it should be. I punch my friends in the face every day in the gym. We try to kill each other in the gym. So it's not going to change what I do in the fight. It's a sport, man. This is a sport. If I wanted to be malicious, I would try to shoot you outside without anyone seeing, But that's not how that's not like how I want to live. So, I like him, man, and I wish him the best, dude, because he's got a great thing going. He's going to be in WWE or something eventually. He'll be in AEW. Like there's so much for him. and that's just the way that God or the universe, whatever you want to say, wanted it. And that's awesome because he was a born star, you know. That wasn't my role. I was supposed to. I don't know what the fuck my role is.
Well,
I don't want to say that I'm a. I don't want to say that I'm going to be a gatekeeper, but you never know what's going to happen, But look at if you look at some guys that are considered gatekeepers, like they have great lives, and that's not what I want to settle for. I want to fight in main events. I want to be a star. That's what that's what we're shooting for in the sport. But I just got to try my hardest and keep persevering and have faith, and we'll see what happens. Either way, I know that I'm going to be successful in life and have a great life and have everything I want. So, like, the fuck is the difference?
Yeah, man. Well, I honestly couldn't have any more respect for the way you're taking this. I mean, it's very a bummer from the outside to know how hard you guys work and to go in there. And I know you said, all the fallout, you seem to accept it, the money, the fame, all that stuff, but you deserved that on the night. You worked hard for it. And for three people in those chairs who have no accountability and lose nothing from it in the moment compared to everything you lost, it's just very disappointing to see. And I think it's bad for our sport.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully this situation will bring more light to it, though, and the Sabatello Stotts situation and the main event situation.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, maybe something will happen. I mean, I doubt anything will happen anytime soon, but this could be a pivotal moment in our history. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Fair play, man. Well, appreciate it. It means a lot that you got and talked about this. I know you got some other interviews and stuff to do today, so I'll let you get to that. And I'm sure I'll see you around very soon, Jared. And again, sorry this happened to you, but it seems like you're internalizing it as best as anyone possibly could. So much respect for that.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate your time.